Hey, everybody out there in Song of Ice and Fire Facebook world. I am your newest admin, Ryan Elliott, and I'm here for our second podcast episode with two lovely ladies who have decided to join me. Make no mistake, though. Make no mistake, they're as tenacious as they are beautiful.
Oh.
Aww.
And they got some fucking potty mouths, too. How are you two?
Excellent.
You doing good
yeah.
on this? What is it like? It's like a Wednesday or something for you out in Australia, right?
Yeah, it's day 3 of my holidays, and I'm just fan-bloody-tastic. Enjoying the winter sun. Well, I've got some.
It's winter there.
Yeah, dude. That's how this works.
Fucked up, man.
Why do you think I curse like you guys?
What's the temperature there, like average winter day, Kelly?
Well, we've actually had a really mild winter this winter where it's super cold in the mornings, which pisses me off because I'm on my way to work. But probably average is about 15 degrees Celsius, which let me just look up in my handy-dandy converter app because, I have a lot of American friends.
I was going to say, go ahead and just figure that out for me.
Don't worry, right, I will. It's about 59 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
So not
and that's
too bad.
Cold?
Like that's our high. That's the highest we get for the day. Our lows have been about 2 or 3 degrees Celsius, which is, if I give you 2, it's 35. So it's not cold compared to what you guys have.
Gotcha.
But
Ryan is laughing.
I know,
I am.
right? It's funny you mentioned that, Ryan, because I actually have this app called What the Forecast, and I have all the admin's locations plugged into it, so I can see what your temperatures are like at any given time. So I can go, oh, it's cold, and then I pull it up. I'm like, no, it's really not. I'm good.
Yeah, I work outside during the winter, and it's
yeah.
I think this winter it was at one point it was -3, but with the wind chill it felt like -13.
Yeah.
And that was
as I say to so many people, like Matt Hall. He's in Canada. He always has a go at me about how I'm a pussy when it comes to cold weather. I'm like, dude, I can go through 15 days of 39 to 40 degrees Celsius heat and be perfectly fine. You all complain when you have like 3 days of 90. So it all works out in the wash, really.
That's true.
Yeah, it was about 93 here today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's currently 24 degrees where Ryan is right now, so that's Celsius. So that's a really nice day.
Yeah, it was. It rained a little bit, and it's really humid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all right. It's kind of. I kind of feel. It's kind of creepy. The weather all the time.
Well, it's because you bastards stole my sun, and I want it back.
Oh,
so I'm like,
sad.
I'm watching where it is. I'm like, where's my sun today? Like I'm definitely a sun girl. Like Kristen can back me up here because she knows what I'm like in summer. I'm so much happier.
Yes,
I'm out in the sun and
you're out in the sun with your girls and
yeah, often just sending photos of me sitting in a pool going, so what are you guys up to? And you're all like blanketed up going, shut up, just shut up.
And KRT, you're over in the capital, right? Are you in DC?
I am technically I'm about 0.7 of a mile over the DC line in Maryland.
Okay.
But I'm inside the Beltway and
right.
Yeah. So it's I mean technically it's Maryland, but it's DC. And I work in DC and yeah. So and it was very hot here today. And super humid. It's very swampy here in the summer, so it's pretty miserable. But
it's awfully miserable there in the summers, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's 70%, 65 to 70% humidity is like normal in the summer.
Oh, all the nope.
Yeah.
Can't do humidity.
So you're just like
all the nope.
Yeah, you're just a big sweat ball like all day. It's just real lovely.
I'm sure public transport's wonderful.
Oh yeah, well, it's just terrible. Yeah, there's no between the bus and the metro, and then my walk to work. I'm just a big ball of sweat. But it's really fun to live here, and it's a very exciting time to live here.
Yeah, well,
That's a cool city.
I mean, it's an interesting place to live at the moment, that's for sure.
Yes, yes. And, it's like politics is the local business, so it's all anyone talks about around here, and it's just something we can never talk about in the group.
Thank you. Not even in meme form, people. No.
Please
memes
read the pinned post.
Please
Exactly.
read the pinned post. Yes, if you do nothing
Your
else,
exits are here, and here.
Yep. And Mama Bear will be happy to show you to the exit if you cannot find it.
Exactly. I'm nothing if not helpful.
It's been really interesting because I mean I've been an admin for 4 months, 5 months, something like that, and so I've never been an admin, of course, during the release of a new book. That's something I've never been around for, but I've also never been the admin during show season or before show season, really. So we've had a huge I think I'm going to call it a blort of new of people wanting to join the group. I'm maybe it's not correlation, but I'm saying is it because the show's coming back?
Yes, it definitely is. We always see a spike at this time of year, and I'll be honest, right? I think the only admin who has been technically an admin at the release of a new book is Dolby. We've been there for the World Book and stuff, but not the big ones. Right. I think Dolby is the only one who has been, and that's why he's so bitter and cynical.
What about Daniel? Was he an admin?
No, Dan wasn't an admin until after I became one.
Okay.
He'd just been in the group that long. Dan's been in the group, I think, even longer than Dolby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, none of us have seen a book.
Season. No, oh Lord, no. That's going to be interesting.
That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and even Dolby hasn't.
I've already.
Nobody's seen a book with 56,000 people in the group.
Right.
So it's a whole different animal.
I've already agreed to fall on the sword, take a couple of days off work, read it cover to cover, which will only take me, what do you reckon, KRT, about a day and a half?
Yeah.
How fast I read, and then go in and wade in and kill everything dead while the rest of you are reading it. I've already agreed to do that.
Well, we're going to need it. I wouldn't even be surprised if, for the first time in the history of the group, we will actually have to, make posts by admin approval or something.
Admin approved?
Until we get the shit under control.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do, which none of us like to do, but, it is what it is.
So how do we...
But, show season.
Show season.
How do we handle show season?
Okay, I have some notes I wrote down for pre-show prep. We make the blanket fort.
Oh, good for you.
We polish the banning devices.
Did you say you polished the blunderbusses?
No, the banning devices.
Oh, I thought you said polish the blunderbusses. I was like an old pirate, scat gun?
Totally.
Fantastic.
Totally. That's my banning device this year.
I thought we just had band hammers, but if we're moving on to blunderbusses and some weird, we just discovered black powder type thing.
Well, Australia is a far way away. We may not have modern technology yet.
I don't know if you guys do.
Then finally we pray to the deity of our choice, because it's going to get ugly.
Yes. But let's see. In real worlds, right? We talk about the show. There's no such thing as spoilers. People are going to scream and cry about that. And they're going to get their asses kicked.
That's exactly what happens. We have 3 threads for each episode. implemented last year. And KRT, do you think that worked pretty well? The live thread for while the ep is aired, and then the positive and negative thread. So everything that you loved about the episode, everything you didn't love about the episode. And we try to keep to those 3 official threads for at least a day or so. A, to just keep everything in one place, but B, to sort of reduce the spam, if you will, of everyone having the same picture up 100 times. Melisandre being old, as an example. God, if I see those boobs one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to poke my eyes out because they were just there. Just like the first 5 threads with the same picture. I'm like, what? So yeah, we try to keep it to the official threads for at least the first little while.
Yeah, I thought it worked really, really well. Like the live thread is a lot of fun to watch and be a part of, and is one of the only reasons my dog just came in. Hi, Harper.
Hi,
Harper. We that way there aren't spoilers all over everybody's feed, right? Like, there are going to be spoilers, but it is considerate to try and keep it to one place. And so it isn't like, oh my God, did you see this thing? Right. And it's the only reason I still watch the show, really, is to participate in the live thread because I think that's so much fun.
The live thread is very fun. I took part in that a couple times last year, and I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah. I get the positive and negative threads I like for the fact that most people tend to stay in their lane. There is someone, and he knows who he is, that feels the need to shit on the show constantly. He knows it pisses me off, and I'm giving him a fair warning this year. I don't care how long you've been in the group. If you keep pissing on positive show threads, I will ban you, because I am done with it. We don't necessarily love the show. KRT, I know you don't love it. I am ambivalent towards it. I'm trying to accept it for what it is, and I think this year might be a little easier because it's a hell of a lot more off script. But I don't feel the need to go in and tell every single person who raises a show thread that I hate the show. Nobody cares, man. Like, nobody cares you hate the show. I think anyone who's been in the group longer than 2 weeks is going to work it out anyway. So, yeah, that's just a thing that shits me. And I know
that's a good question then. If I'm new to the group, let's say, or let's just open it up to I'm in the group.
Yep.
And I didn't want to be banned during show season. What shouldn't I do?
You shouldn't name call, because that seems to be what most people get banned for in the group during show season.
Aside from all the obvious
pinned post stuff.
Yeah, aside from the pinned post stuff, what are the things that I could do to get myself banned? Aside from pinned post violations.
A big one. Threatening D&D with death threats. It happened last year. More than once. Dude, like, it was insane. I can't believe we even had to make a post about it, but it happened so often. I'm like, what? Why would you do that? So that's one thing, like, threatening them in any way, shape or form. It's just unnecessary. I think it pretty much boils down to don't be a dick. Honestly, there's no one thing. It's just don't be a dick. If you're not a dick,
if I were to ever
you'll get along fine.
If I were to ever run for office of any kind, that would just be they'd say, so like, what's your platform? And I'd say, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. That's all it is.
I think it should be the basic rule of the internet.
Don't be a dick.
Just don't be a dick. They'd say, what do you think about taxes? I'd say, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick about it.
Pay taxes. I mean, Jesus.
I think this is a fine title for this podcast, actually. Show season.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
And that actually goes for both sides. Sorry, losing my voice. That goes for both sides. It goes for people that don't like the show as much as it goes for people that do. Because quite a lot of the behaviour we see are from people that don't like the show. The group is called A Song of Ice and Fire, but for a very long time it's encompassed both. And some of the regulars and people seem to have a hard time grasping that.
Well, I've also found, too, that there's a lot of people who are big fans of the show who try to, like, push a rock uphill to try to tell people who don't like the show why they need to like the show. And that's just as fucking bad as
Agreed.
It's
as
fantasy,
shitting on the
anything
show
can
guy.
happen. Yeah.
Like
It's fantasy, anything can happen, just let it go. No, that's not how that works.
exactly.
So yeah, I agree. It just boils down to don't be a dick. I mean, that really is really what our rules should just say, except apparently some people need quantification. So basically just get along. Don't whinge about spoilers. I don't care if you live in the US and you haven't had a chance to see it yet. If you're in the UK, if you're in bumfuck nowhere Australia. Like, I don't get to see it until 8 hours after it's aired. And by then I already know everything that's happened because I'm getting tagged in stuff to deal with it. Do I care? No. I wouldn't go in to the group and deal with stuff if I was worried about spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, don't be on the group.
Well, see, now that's
Pretty
another
simple.
interesting point. See, I don't. We talked about it on Geekcast Live quite a bit. That I don't
remember.
I don't believe spoilers exist. I think their spoiler culture to me is such a fucking made up thing to make people either feel good or as a way to use or as a way to like wield power over other people. It's such a fucking weird thing to me. It's gotten so
I
overblown.
remember watching that. Yeah, I remember listening to that podcast, and if you remember, I messaged you and said I completely agree with you. Like, I mean, if you're spoiling the end of like book 7, and I haven't had a chance to read it yet, again, it's my fault for being in the group. But if you came in and just said to me, by the way, the following stuff happens in this book, blah 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 blah, I'd be like, you're a dick.
You're a total dick.
Let me read it. You know, if you just like, I accidentally maybe spoilt the fact that Jon Snow was going to come back for someone at work, and I didn't mean to. I'm just like, you didn't understand that he was coming back? What fucking show were you watching? Like,
yeah.
But I really like the fact that in our group, and you know, this is one of the reasons I wanted to be on this episode, because I felt like I wanted to be on the episode, but also because I had legitimately, I wanted to know how to comport myself as a, is that even a word? Comport?
Yes, it's a word.
Did I use it in
Sounds
context
like a word.
correctly?
I believe you used
believe
it
so.
correctly.
Huh.
I'm looking this up because it sounds right.
Fantastic. Anyway, I wanted to know how to comport myself as an admin during show season. And I love the fact that when someone says, hey, you could have, like, spoiler alerted me, I can tell that guy, listen, guy, don't be a dick.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah,
it's on
there's
you,
no such thing.
right? It's on you. Buyer beware. Like, we're very clear. If you come in the group and you haven't watched, that's your fucking
on
fault.
you. I need to find that PSA
Period.
I did last year. The video PSA that I did last year. That was funny. Like, apparently you can't read. Let's try moving pictures to see if that makes sense to you. No, you're still bitching about spoilers. Okay. It's always
just
amazing
impossible.
to me.
We can't contain anything in a group this size. You know, there's no way to contain it. So let the cat out of the bag. And if you haven't watched, then it's on you to wait. If it's important to you to avoid spoilers, like, I agree with you, Ryan.
Unfollow the group.
I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Neither do I.
You know, I don't feel spoiled. So just unfollow the group. Don't comment, you know, don't go on Facebook. Don't go on the internet if that matters to you. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, that's it. Like, Ryan, you could describe to me everything that happens in an episode, but it's not the same as me watching it for myself, because I could pick up different things than you do.
Correct.
And so to me, you telling me how things are going is it's different. So it personally doesn't bother me. And honestly, we've showed people how to unfollow the group so many times that at what point do we stop being your parents and you start being grown-ups and taking responsibility for your own actions? I might be the mama bear, but I don't want to be everyone's mum.
Yeah.
Like, just grow up. And people, it's just basically don't be a dick. And I mean, show season, us admins, we always go, oh God, it's coming. And it's mostly just because it's a massive, as you've seen, right, it's a massive influx of new members. So there's lots of that new, not reading the pin post, getting hyped up about the show, So you have to give out warnings a lot more. You have to sort of police a lot more. And just the general tone, if something big happens, like Sansa being raped by Ramsay, that was insane. That was probably one of the worst times I think we've ever had in the group KRT. Would you agree with me on that one?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
well, especially
I don't
because
know
it's
how many-
like, how much yucky humanity do you get to face, right? In one afternoon where you're like, oh my God, if one more moron is like, she deserved it.
Or it's not rape, they were married.
Yeah, I'm going to just kill myself. Like, could not.
I'm like, I was going to go nuclear on one guy because he was just like, it's not rape. If you're my wife, I'll take it when I want it. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then I looked it up and realized that he wasn't married. And I just cracked up laughing and said to him, good luck ever getting married, buddy. But it's not one. It was like 15 of them in a thread. And poor Liz DeGangi, she did so well. And Emma Locker and Aaron, I think it was Aaron Isabel as well. And it was actually, what I love about our group is for every pop collar wearing douchebag that we get, there is 5 genuinely amazing people. And if there wasn't for those people, we wouldn't keep doing this. We wouldn't keep adminning. We wouldn't keep trying to keep it a nice place to be. It's easy to let the douchebags win because often they're the loudest. But it's always refreshing to see 5 or 6 people going, well, that's not okay. And I'm kind of hoping for no rape this year. Please, D&D, help us out.
And if you want to see what it looks like when the douchebags win, just hop on over to the Red Waste and have a look around.
Oh, yeah. Like that time where they did, I'm not sure if you were around then, Rye. We had it in our group and we ended up shutting it down because it was insane. What house do I look like based on my profile picture?
Yes, no, I wasn't an admin at the time, but
yeah, it was the Great Butthurt War of 2015, I think, or 2014. That's what we ended up calling it. But they did it worse.
Yes.
There was a guy, and I was sitting there watching it live because I'm in that group, and I just occasionally go in and go, yeah, no, our group's great. He actually did something to himself and had the evidence in his hand and goes, what house are my kids from? And I've just come back into the admin group and gone, you won't believe what we just saw. So they all went over because they didn't believe it. And I'm like, you know what? Our group's bloody amazing because at least we're not animals. Like some of those people are animals.
It's pretty nuts.
It's like the worst parts of the internet. It's almost
really
like 4chan.
It's the 4chan of Song of Ice and Fire discussion groups.
Yes,
it
absolutely.
Is. And then you've got
not in that weird like industrious. They can find Shia LaBeouf's like webcam.
Yeah.
Part of 4chan. It's the bad part of 4chan.
Yes.
It's the dark net of 4chan.
Yes. Yes, it's a giant Tor browser.
It really is. And then you've got a couple other groups out there. You've got the book only group.
Oh, good.
Only group, which I'm sure is wonderful. I'm sure is dead this time of year.
It's the only group on the internet I've ever been banned from.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Same. It's the only group I've ever been banned from, and I didn't actually do anything. Their head admin just really fucking hates me.
I have to say, I was banned from it. I got let back in, and I sat there biding my time, and then I decided to just see how fast I could get banned.
No, I bet it was pretty damn fast.
It was about I think it was 2 minutes 18 seconds.
That's impressive.
From hitting enter on like posted and banned. All right, well that was that.
The first person I know that ever got banned from that group was Jonathan Thornton, where he pretty much argued the point about how we're not allowed to wield words because we're not as good as George R. R. Martin. And he came back with, well, if Shakespeare can use the word see you next Tuesday, why can't we? Mm-hmm. And he got banned. But he took screenshots the whole time and he was just arguing with the despot, which is what I call her. And it's always funny when she pops up on a mutual friend status and I'm like, maybe she isn't. Oh, no, she's a fucking dumpster fire. Like if She is a dumpster fire human being. And normally I don't get personal, but anyone who has to have an angel fire dedicated to group, like rules for her group, needs to just dial it back a little bit.
Just a little
First
bit.
of all, I didn't even know angel fire was still a thing. Let's
I
face
know,
it, it's
right?
1997.
Yeah.
I had an angel fire webpage when I was 16. And it was just Flash graphics and Buffy pictures. Like, I was really deep at 16. But, you know, like an extra... We have a lot of rules in our group, people would argue. But that makes our group look like a kegger.
It is. Well, yeah.
Well, yes.
Kegger and proud.
Absolutely. I'd rather be at a kegger any day of the week.
Yep. All right, so Ryan, to circle back to your question, what else would you have to do to get banned from the group during show season? Just continually posting tired memes or recycled memes or something that's already been posted or clickbait over and over and over again. Oh my God. Like, just chill out. Have you noticed those people who like join the group
Yes.
and then it's like, oh, I saw this one and then I saw this one and then I saw this one. It's like, slow down, man.
Spamming.
Don't blow
Spamming.
your wad all in one go, right?
Yes, the meme wad blowers, absolutely. And or the people that will come in with their internet dick swinging and then just get butthurt right away when someone goes, well, actually, no.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're not just writing no, because that I can understand that. If you've come up with a theory or you've taken the time to write an essay and the only answer is you're getting a no, that's annoying as hell.
Yes.
But it's the ones that, basically get all butthurt. Don't get butthurt is pretty much.
Well, or at
no
least
one's going to agree with you 100% of the time.
Sure, but if you come in and you float a theory and people take the time to respond and can refute it, and you can't be open to like, oh, I might have been wrong, then you're in the wrong line of hobby.
You're in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker.
Because we've all been
writing
wrong.
No,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been wrong 4 times today.
Yep.
According to my children, I'm wrong all the time.
Well, yeah.
They're good for my ego, those two. No, we can totally eat cookies for breakfast, Mum. You're wrong. I didn't say you couldn't. I said you shouldn't. But yeah, I'm just scrolling through the group now, and I can see Rice just posted. Can I have a guide on how to be a dick? Ali, I think you've already got it, honey. Ali just posted on your thread, right? So I'm just going through the group at the moment. So, like Game of Thrones, we know what happens in each season of season 8 from D&D. I was wondering when someone was going to post that. I saw it in another group today.
Yes.
So just, we try to give warnings on things, this is what's coming up. One thing I noticed in the last week, and you guys would have too, the re-emergence of Manus boys.
Oh, good Lord.
I was hoping when he lost his head on the show that would be the end of that. But
we could do an entire episode on Manus boys. And
what is dead may never die.
And here's what I hate about Manus boys. I truly, truly love that character in the books.
So do I.
But it is so hard to be like vocal with that, because like when I hear somebody say that, and I'm trying to fight the good fight. When I hear somebody say like, man, I really like Stannis, I want to say like, oh yeah, you're one of them fucking Manus boys, aren't you? And then I say like, and then I gotta like, in my head, I gotta walk it back and be like, no, probably not. He's probably just like you. He probably hates them fucking douchebags. It kills me.
You can always tell the difference. You can always tell the difference between a Stannis fan and a Manus boy. Manus boys will be like, Daenerys is a moron. She's a killer. Brienne sucks.
Yep.
They don't tell you how great Stannis is. They tell you how much the women in the show or the book suck ass. That's how you can tell the difference between the two. If you can say to me, Stannis is fantastic because look at the fact that he's a master tactician. Look at how funny he is, even when he doesn't mean to be. He is one of the funniest characters in those books. without meaning to be, he has one of the best senses of humor. Like, I actually really enjoy Stannis as a character.
I used
But
to.
I know, right? I know,
Yeah.
KRT. I don't think I'll ever forgive the show for that.
Yeah,
But I mean,
and
if you want to look at the biggest character assassinations in the show, him and Ilaria, is that how you say it? From Dawn.
Yeah, and Jamie.
Like, those two characters were yeah, I'll give you. He still has moments of Jamie-ness, though. Like,
He
I didn't
does.
see hardly any moments of Stannis in Stannis.
Agreed.
Like, and I don't know if it's because we're seeing him in first person as opposed to the books where we see him through Davos's eyes. I'm wondering if that's the difference as well. It would have been hard to kind of have a character where in the books you only saw him through someone else's eyes and someone who loved him. But yeah, I mean, if you get like 1,000 memes of how Daenerys is the devil, or generally you know that they're Manus boys, and then of course out come all the Manus boy memes that we have, because over the years we've collected a few.
But yeah, typically like Dany sucks, and you know she shouldn't. She kills like the poor innocent slavers.
Oh, those poor slavers! She's such a monster.
And she shouldn't have freed all those slaves who now are having difficulty, right? Because slavery is way better. And, you know, it's just like those kinds of arguments. You're like, it's all just a build up for the big, right? My one true king moment.
Yeah.
It is.
And so when he lost his head,
every post.
Yeah. And it's back. And it's really, I think, just because the show is coming back, but it's just shocking to me. I'm like, you know, he died, right? Like, he's not going to be back on the show, guys. Like, you gotta like
let it go.
Let it go.
And
well,
I have
for
zero
fuck's sake, we just had a post. We just had a post. Was it this week about how Ned could still be alive?
Oh, not one, dude. I think I saw like 3. I'm like, dude, Ned is dead, baby. Let it go. I mean, we know Jory lives, but
the clickbait thing.
Yeah.
Is the fault of the Ned thing, right? Like, it's just circulating on clickbait, and it ends up on like multiple sites, and so then people are like, oh well, there must be something to this, because Moron 121 said on Reddit that you know, Ned warged into a pigeon, or you know, like some other sort of nonsense. And it's there's something about, like, especially if somebody made a YouTube video of it, if they see it like
on
that
YouTube,
way,
it must be
then
true.
it has to be true, right? Like, it's like the medium is the message. They like it's just, it has to be true because I saw it on a thing that's like a TV.
Well, I have a theory that a lot of people can't read. I have this theory: a lot of people can't read, so they only do what the moving pictures tell them to do. But yeah, I didn't even click on that Ned is alive theory. I just kind of went. I think I was sitting on the couch with Dan, my husband, and I'm like, "You've got to be fucking shitting me." And Daniel was like, "Oh God, it's show season, isn't it?" Like, he knows. We could be in the middle of a jump up, and I'll go to the computer, and he's like, "Oh, she's banning someone." Like, he knows. He knows what it's like during show season. He actually said to me, because I'm going to watch it live. The first episode, I'll still be off work, so I'll be able to watch it live. But I said, "Oh, what am I going to do with the kids for like an hour? Because they can't watch it." And he goes, "Shove them in the room with me. We'll watch Disney movies or something." I'm like, done. Because it airs at like 10 in the morning here. So it's not like I can go stay in bed for, 4 hours. So yeah, he knows what show season's like, and I just showed him, I think last year I showed him, or during the Manus Boys raids KRT, I showed him some of what we were dealing with. He's like, "How do you not go off your nut and just swear at them?"
Ugh.
I said, "Because I get the greatest of joy banning them and then watching them get all bitchy butthurt in my other folder." And just not opening the message. I don't have to. I can see it.
I know, that's like the best thing Facebook ever did, right? Like, that you can see that stuff without having to open it. Oh my God. Thank you, Facebook.
Thank you for that, Zuckerberg. But the Manus boys, I mean, I think we worked out the average Manus boy age is about 14 to 16. So, when you hit puberty, come back and talk to us. But it's easy for them to like him because, in the show he cheats on his wife and, he does what he wants and he's not a woman. And that's basically what it boils down to. He's not a woman.
Yeah.
They can't bacteria him because he's gone to Danny now and there's not really a lot of options. I mean, you'd think more of them would back Jon Snow. They seem to love Stannis. It's really strange.
Well, that's because Stannis, they only like Jon Snow because Stannis nodded at him. Right?
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, that was the Stannis seal of approval. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
He fucking nodded. Like, Jesus Christ.
And believe me, that they cut the nod out of the show. So, those fucking assholes.
Yeah, we've had we've had a raid. We've had a rise in Manus boys. We've also had a rise in just clickbait robots that we have to get rid of.
Thank God we don't have any porn bots yet.
I know that seems like I think Facebook got a handle on that because it doesn't happen.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. It's always pleasant. And
Oh.
people being angry because it appeared, like, do something about it. We fucking are.
Yeah.
Like, some of those porn bots had been sleepers in the group for over a year.
Yep.
Or they'd been poor people that had had their accounts hacked. Some of them were legit bots and we weren't letting them through. I mean, we vet pretty heavily. Like, if you look dodgy, you're not getting in. If you've only been on Facebook 3 days, you're not getting in. But yeah, I had people like yelling at me going, do something about this. I'm like, well, don't click on it if you don't want to watch porn. Jesus Christ. Like, it's not like if you've got autoplay running on videos on your Facebook, that's on you. Like, turn that shit off.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's not my fault that you're Bluetoothed into your, into your house speakers.
Oh God.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
because
actually happened to a friend of mine.
When the horse porn was going around, I was like, oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. That's like the worst. What did that horse ever do to you guys? Come on.
I know.
Good old horse porn.
Maybe that should be the title of this episode. Good old horse porn.
Don't be a dick. Horse porn.
You can imagine, though, the Battle of the Bastards, if you were into that, how much you would have loved that episode.
If you were into horse porn?
If you were just into horses in general.
Oh, just horses in general.
Yeah. Just horses in general. I was watching something, Foxtel, which is our cable company over here in Australia, it airs, exclusively airs Game of Thrones here. They had a top 20 best moments of Game of Thrones the whole way through. I think their favourite part was the Battle of the Bastards. I'm like, wrong, just wrong. Like, I was getting, and my friends are sitting with me because we're watching it, and they're just looking at me going, this is why we don't watch this with you. Hello, Kaylee. I'm still talking. Aww. Bye. No. Oh, sorry, guys. Just give me a sec. What? I'll feed you lunch. I'll be finished soon. Off you go.
You'll eat when Mum is done.
Okay, we'll go jump on him. He needs to go to work. Yeah. Okay, bye.
You'll get your food when Mom's done and not a second sooner.
Exactly.
Did you guys hear Harper barking earlier too? Did that come through?
I did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I did hear it. No, don't worry about it. I mean, we are people with families and puppies. I mean, this is, life.
There's a lot
We've
of
all got kids.
There's a lot of podcasters out there, some of which that I podcast with regularly, who are really that really bothers them if they have a guest who has a dog or a kid or their chair's a little squeaky or something, and it's like,
oh my God.
Well, I mean, we just had a guest on who his wife was nursing. They have 2 other kids under the age of 3.
Wow.
All the kids were in the room, and he texted me afterwards like, dude, hey, if you want to scrap the episode, I understand. I'm sorry. We couldn't get a sitter. And I was like, dude, it's fucking real life, man. You got 3 kids. We're talking about Star Wars, for Christ's sake.
It's not like you're talking about quantum mechanics and how you're going to save the world from climate change. Like it's
we're a bullshit show about nothing. You can have your kids in the room. I don't really care.
that's it. Like I know, but my kids would want to come and talk to you though. They'd want to take the headset off me and talk to you, which is cute and all. But after a while, it's just like, go away. I can't do a single video message to say Jason Cruz, for example, without my kids telling him how much they love him.
Aww.
And he's just like, oh, they love me. I'm like, someone has to, because I'm savage. But yeah, I mean, we're all people, you know. And I think sometimes in the group, there's probably this thing of like people can be friends with us, but other people in the group are a bit afraid of us. So I think showing that we have, you know, families and that we're actual humans, it helps. Because you want people to be able to approach you if they need something or, you know, talk to you. There's nothing worse than sitting there and no one wants to say anything because you're an admin. It's like, dude, I probably would be close to breaking these rules more than you guys do.
Yes.
I mean, we don't, but
right.
I've only ever had to warn myself once. Like,
did you actually warn yourself?
Yes, I went, admin warning Kelly, back off. And everyone cracked up laughing because I warned myself. But dude was asking for it.
Do you think people are afraid of me? I worry sometimes that they are.
I've said this to Chris and he got mad at me. I sometimes feel like the amount that you know about these books and how you read them, I feel inferior in comparison.
Oh,
because
no.
you know and it's nothing that you do. It's just the way you read these books and the way you interpret them and the knowledge that you just have at the drop of your hat. Where I'd be flicking through, going, "Fuck, where's that chapter?"
Yep, you've got a recall for
intense.
Certain. Yeah, it is. That's what it is. That's a great word. You've got a recall that's intense.
And it's a good thing. Like
It doesn't intimidate me. It doesn't make me scared of you. But what it does do is when it's like when you go like chapter and verse on something, I drop my argument in my head. Even there's been times where I've been watching you go back and forth with somebody, and I'll be like, ooh, I don't know, and then you'll say like you'll say something definitively, and I'll say like, oh, well, that's that then. No need continuing following this.
No point arguing that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and Chris can come across as being quite like cynical and jaded, but when you get to know him, that's just part of who he is.
Yeah, but he's really like a big fluff ball.
He is a bastard, but with a soft coating. Like a soft middle. He's a soft middle wrapped in a bastard coating. I think I've said that to him before too. But I can come across as being harsh, particularly during show season. My tolerance for bullshit goes down to less than nothing. Yep. And Mathino will shut an argument down with one word.
No.
Yeah.
And no, or two words. He dead. Like, he dead. You know, Schmo will throw sarcastic pictures at you until you go away. You know, we all have our own personalities, but we all complement each other really well.
Agreed.
And
to be honest,
you're the unknown factor.
Well, I'm still getting my damn sea legs. I still don't know. There's sometimes I'll see something, I'll be like, that's bannable, I think. And I'll be like, you know what? No, let it go. Let one of the other admins ban it because maybe it's not.
Oh,
never be afraid. Just do it. If we have to let them back in later, that's fine. We've all, and I think KOT, you have too. I've had someone that I've banned and I've had to reverse the decision.
Yes.
But we will always put it in there and go, guys, I've banned this person for this. And if we go, oh, well, hang on a second. But the chances of that actually happening are really slim. I've only ever had one ban reversed in the whole time I've been an admin.
I mean, I think I get like the caution or like the I don't.
So warn them.
Yeah, warn them.
That's
or
what
be
warnings
like,
are for, mate.
That's not cool. And like that's not cool doesn't even have to be like an official warning, but like, you know, like
heads up that hey, we're here.
I'm watching you. That's or like get one of those I am monitoring this thread things. That usually works really well too, right? Where I post that picture and it's like, oh, that guy shut up.
I post that sticker of the hacker girl looking around the corner.
Yeah.
That works really well too. Yeah, I mean, just warning.
I
That's why we
try
have
to
the warnings.
diffuse things a lot with the dank
Yeah.
meme.
Yeah, that
That
works.
That is fantastic. Someone used that the other day in somewhere else, and I'm just like, no, that's not yours to use. Not yours.
That was.
I can't even remember who it was.
I've never had more fun than when that thread was a thing.
Oh, that thread was amazing. I'm just watching him get so mad every time you post.
That Jamoke just kept posting that.
Yep.
And you're like, I remember messaging you, Ryan. You go, what is this guy doing?
Well,
And
he
then
kept
it just
saying
became a
it.
thing.
He kept saying it like eventually everyone was going to say like, oh, I get it
Okay,
now.
then.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
now
a
it
dank
makes sense.
meme.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't make
Dank
sense.
meme.
Chill out.
It's
Cool.
Yeah, I'll not be offended because it's a meme. Like, oh, I totally forget that memes are not real and they're not words, and yeah.
But now there's a
It's
real
supposed to be offensive.
funny. I don't know if you pay attention to it or not, but every time I post that, maybe 5-10 minutes later, one of our members, David Billiam, he'll always post after it. He'll say like, what'd you say about a bank lean? Or he'll post something that rhymes with dank meme. Every time I post it, it'll be like six posts down in the thread. He'll throw like what's with Charlie Sheen?
I actually noticed the Charlie Sheen one, and I'm like, what the fuck?
It's always it's in response to me posting something about a dank meme.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look.
Yeah,
it's like I almost sometimes I post it just to see. It makes me every
what
time
he comes up with.
Every time he said, well, he's starting to recycle them, and every time he says bank lean, I about piss myself. I love it.
Well, you know,
I always look for the dank meme.
Yeah.
I always look for that.
I think that show season is really how an admin gets their sea legs, right?
Yeah.
Because it goes really fast, and like people go crazy, and you know Sunday night you're gonna see, and you're gonna have to do something. There's gonna be somebody banned on Sunday night for sure.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
At least we gave you a couple of months to get used to it, right? I think Yer was put in right as show season was starting. That poor bastard had a trial by fire.
He really did. But
so at least
it's a good way.
A few months.
It's like if you start retail at Christmas time, right? Like you're going to see everything that can happen to you all on the first day.
All at once.
Well, I'm looking
Having
forward
a
to it
husband
now.
who works retail, I agree.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's going to be a fun. It's going to make it's just another layer to my Sunday night onion. Yep. That's all.
And the great thing is that, a few of us will be there, so, we can have fun on the live thread, and then we can chat if we have stuff that's come up. That's where you'll find, Rye, that the group chat for the admins goes a bit mental during show season, and not just because we're playing, Facebook games.
It's not a bit mental anyway.
It's very mental.
It's very mental. Like it gets busier, not mental. It gets busier. We're all mental. Okay. I mean, you have to be an admin.
We're all mad.
It gets
here.
busier.
How do you watch, Ryan? Do you watch live? Like, do you have an HBO subscription and you watch live, or do you?
Yes, I watch live with my wife, who pretends she's never read the books.
Okay.
I just got done having this conversation with somebody else. If you've never read the books, I can totally see where you think this show is just fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so my wife has a hard time being into the things that I'm into, because she would then have to admit that she likes it.
Yeah.
So she watches it and says like she knows everybody. She knows what's going on, but she pretends not to watch. So I basically watch it by myself, or if I have one friend that lives nearby who is caught up, but he's also not a book reader. So I actually prefer to just kind of watch it by myself, because then I can mumble groan to myself and not have to sound like some sort of, because watching it in a room full of people who haven't read the books, you can come off as just a dick almost. And I'm trying not to be a dick.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I watch by myself out of sheer happenstance. As I said earlier, my husband works nights, and he won't he started watching it from season 1, and I'd already obviously watched it all at that point. I think it was around season 5. He started watching it season 1, and he said, watching it with you is an exercise in watching someone go through physical pain. He goes, because you weren't saying anything about how it was different from the books. He goes, but at one point you actually had your whole fist in your mouth trying not to say something. And I got mad at him because he'd be flicking on his phone and he'd miss something. I'm like, dude! And he's like, I don't watch things with you for this reason. And so he's just chucked it in. He's not watching it. And so I watch it on my own. But then what happens is I'm usually in the group at the time. But then I do video breakdowns for my show watching friends, because they'll come up and they'll go, why is this like this? Or who's this person? And so I give them a bit of a rundown based on also how the show does it, but also who they are in the books. So Euron Greyjoy, for example, my friend messaged me and said, who the fuck is that? And so I had to give them a whole rundown on Euron Greyjoy and how he's infinitely better in the books. And I've actually got 3 of them to start reading the books because of it. Sheridan Fletcher's one of them, and she's actually in the group now. But yeah, they'll come up with my friend Tennille, her husband, and her watch it, and then he'll turn to her and go, right, the following things I have for Kelly. Bam, bam, bam. She'll come in and ask me, and so I'll do a video and send it off to her. And I always say at the start of the video, I'm going to try and not swear, but if I get mad, I cannot be held responsible for my language. And inevitably, it's like, for fuck's sake. But that's how I watch the show. Like, I'll watch it, and then I'll have to break it down for people, which is cool. I actually enjoy doing it. And I went back through my old Facebook memories the other day to the Red Wedding. Oh, and wow. My wall was hilarious. Kelly, how could you not warn me this was coming? I need therapy now. And I'm just cackling maniacally because it's still not as bad as the books.
No.
And so, I have a lot of just show watching friends. I have a few book reading friends as well, but mostly it's you guys. You guys are my book reading friends. So yeah, it's just I watch it alone, and then I sit there and because usually by the time I've seen it, you guys are all in bed. Yeah. So that's when I do my busiest adminning time, is when the rest of the world is sort of starting to watch it and people blow up, and that's when I'm the busiest, is just after I've watched it, because you guys are all in bed. So I think I get to watch it probably almost 7 hours after it's aired, 7 or 8 hours after it's aired. So yeah. What about you, KRT?
So, well, we canceled our HBO this year. So just this week, I got HBO Now through like Amazon channels or something like that. Also, because I really, really wanted to watch. Side note: the Dr. Dre Jimmy Iovine thing, and it's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
is it? I have to say.
Yes, I would highly recommend that. But anyway, so we have a temporary subscription to HBO, and
okay.
And I have all right. So my husband won't watch with me anymore. He watched. He watched with me, and for like the first 4 seasons, and somewhere around season 2 or 3, I convinced him to read the books. And, he works a lot. And so it took him a while, but he did. He read them and just once and really enjoyed them. And then he wouldn't watch the show anymore. He was like, it's a soap opera and I don't like it. And so he stopped watching it. But I got my, so I have a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old. And my oldest read the books when they were 14. And then Alice has read most of them, I guess. Anyway, so now they watch with me, which is also interesting. So to the parents out there watching Game of Thrones with their teens, I feel your pain. Sort of. It can be uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie. But it's fun to watch with them. And and they have actually they probably have the healthiest sort of attitude. Like
Mm,
Eden loved the books, but but enjoys the show for what it is. And I wish I could do that. I do, and I'm happy for people who can. I swear, as much as
mm,
I bitch about how much I hate the show, um,
yeah,
I am happy for people who can enjoy it for what it is. I think it could be more, and so I'm continuously
yeah.
disappointed.
I feel this season will be different, KRT, because they're pretty much done with the books now that we are aware of.
Yes,
I think it's a bit easier for me to just be like, let's just see what happens.
I know.
I mean, but I am a book, like my husband calls me a massive book snob. Massive book snob. And that's the reason he won't watch it with me. But I am trying this new thing this year where I'm just going to just watch it and see how we go. I enjoyed some of the parts of last year.
Yes.
I've got to admit, I enjoyed the Sept scene. And even on rewatches, I kind of really enjoyed that. And it was the combination of the theatrical, the build up with the music was intense. Like the show has some amazing things about it.
It does.
I just don't agree that it's the best show out there.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. I don't agree with it. There are so many other shows I've enjoyed more, Stranger Things being one of them. Which,
Yeah,
Rye, I have to thank you for making me watch the last half of that because I wasn't going to, and it was so good.
You're welcome.
And, just a few things that have come along that I've been like, even Outlander. Outlander is obviously based on a book series, and they've done it really well. They've obviously not done it exactly the same, and they can't. But it's amazing. And I thoroughly recommend. Like with Foxtel, we only have one cable company out here. And they have like the rights to HBO, the rights to Stars. So it's all shown on this one channel called Showcase.
Okay.
It costs me $20 a month extra, but it's totally worth it. And then they have, so they've been showing all of Game of Thrones leading up to the new season. And so yeah, I've been just flicking when I've been home alone. I've just been flicking, going, that's like season 2, or hey, there's the Great John. Everyone remember the Great John?
Yeah.
Kind of miss the Great John.
Well, I felt like season 5 was really the low point for me, and that last season they managed to have more highs than lows.
Yeah.
And I think, right, like when I watch the show, there are things about it that can't be beat by most regular television, right? Like the locations are stunning, and the directors and the cinematography and the costuming and the music and quite frankly the acting, it's all top notch. The thing that's missing is, oh my God, the dialogue is bad, and and it hurts them. It really does. They have these pieces, and I think they have, they just can't. I want them to get over the hump, and they have not been able to do that. So for me, if you love it, hooray. But also, don't tell me I shouldn't watch it, because I'm gonna complain because I wanna, and I can.
You mean you don't you don't need any of that bad pussy?
Oh.
What you're trying to say?
God damn. Oh,
Power.
Just
Power is power,
those
Ryan.
words.
Power is
Oh,
power.
power is power. Chaos
Power.
is a ladder, guys. Seriously.
Power is power.
Seriously, the bad pussy line, I swear, any woman worth her soul cringed like fuck when that line was said.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know, even the people that write Brazzers porn just went, really, dude?
Yeah. It was terrible.
It was, and that won a fucking Emmy. That's what pissed me off the hardest, for writing. I know other things happened in that episode, which is what they actually won for, but it's almost as bad as Oscar-winning movie Suicide Squad. That is what I liken it to. They're winning an Emmy
pretty
for
close.
that episode. Suicide Squad winning an Oscar for anything. It's the same thing. I mean, come on. It's like participant ribbons because you showed up. No. Yeah, I agree with you, KRT. Like, the cinematics can't be beat. The music is some of the best I've ever heard in a TV show, but the dialogue really does let them down. And the fact that they'll change a character from one season to the next, I think that's part of the reason season 5 was so low, is you went from, you know, Eliara and Dawn being, revenge is cold, it's not going to help you, exactly how she was in the books, to, fuck it, we're just going to murder everybody.
Yes. Well,
and it was like, grief does things to people, but come on.
Well, I'm going to avenge the death of my beloved by murdering his family.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that works. Yeah,
I do love Ian McShane's whole take on it. Come on, it's just dragons and tits. Like,
yeah. Well, and he's right.
Yeah.
And if you can say that, if that's what you want, and and I like tits, and dragons are cool. So
dragons are awesome and tits are amazing. I mean, I defy anyone not to like tits.
Two of my top 6 things.
There's not enough alcohol in there.
It's tits, dragons, root beer,
bourbon,
Super Bowl,
gin,
at baseball,
and baseball. Yep, and Stephen King. Those are my top 7 things.
Okay.
Yeah, Stephen King definitely has to be in
just
there.
Just a quick insight into my psyche.
And don't be a dick.
And don't be a dick. Right. Actually, well, okay.
Future political platform.
So to bring this full circle then, and to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you could, as the 2 more seasoned admins, just leave your last. What's your last word on? If as a member of the group listening to this podcast, if you could talk to them and say, like, do me a favor and just don't do this thing, or like, what's your last word of advice for listeners of this episode when it comes to show season?
Read the pinned post.
It's probably not. It's probably should get that.
Get that
probably all you need,
somewhere.
Really. Right?
Get that tattooed somewhere and make it a thread.
If I look back in Bast.
if I look back in Bast. God damn it, Tammy is like the bomb. Have you read that thread, right?
Yes.
Me going against Julian Camacho about how he's saying people with tattoos are destroying American society. Oh, I remember that thread. But mine is read the pin post, obviously, but just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick to people that enjoy the show. Don't be a dick to people that don't enjoy the show. Stay in your lane. We give you positive and negative threads for a reason. And if you don't watch the show, why the fuck are you commenting on show threads? Make a book thread. No one's saying you can't during show season. Yeah. In fact, it's encouraged. Make a thread whenever you feel like making a thread. But don't go into a show thread and go on about how you don't watch it and that it's crap. Because dick move.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Keep the positive to the positive thread. Keep the negative to the negative thread.
To the negative thread.
Yep.
And stay in your lane, basically. Stay in your lane and don't be a dick. Same advice I give people that are driving. Stay in your lane and don't be a dick.
I did this last year and I didn't say anything about it. I just challenged myself. So now I will publicly state that I challenge myself every episode to find something positive to post in the positive thread. So that
I did notice that you were doing that last year.
So, I try to find something I can like about each episode and post about it in the positive thread too. So I challenge you guys who hate the show but are still out there hate watching and drinking bourbon with me. You know who you are.
I'll do that with you Sunday.
Okay. And I'm going to be...
I think I'm going to drink.
Yeah. I'm going to sit down with my tall whiskey sour and my little bowl of cashews, and I'm going to watch the show on Sunday night, and I will find something positive to like.
I might make pancakes.
Nikolai's going to
I might just make pancakes.
Yeah.
He always looks good.
I know, right?
I just might make pancakes and drink cider.
Do you make
And
waffles,
I
or
don't
is that
care if
just
it's.
me?
We don't have waffle. They're not easy to obtain here, waffle irons. So no, I make pancake. Well, what I do Sunday mornings is I listen to the latest episode of podcast Geekcast Light while I'm making pancakes for the kids.
Gotcha.
And the last time I couldn't find my headphones, so I just had it sitting on my phone playing. And Kaylee's like, that guy, and she's talking about you, right? She's like, he has the best laugh. She's like, make him laugh again. I'm like, it's not interactive, honey.
Make him laugh again. Like you just like I'm the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah, so I can.
Like, you
Yeah,
poke me in the
that's
belly.
basically a make you giggle. But she thinks that your laugh is amazing, right?
Well,
When I said I was going to do a podcast today, she's like, with the guy that laughs. I'm like, well, he does more than laugh, but yes. But yes, I'll be watching with you guys, and I'm actually getting to do it live for a change, thanks to school holidays and time off work. So it'll make a nice change.
Awesome. What would you say, Ryan? What would be your advice as to someone? Do you have any?
no, I do. Don't be afraid to post your opinions, but do so knowing that that's just all they are, is your opinion.
Yeah.
And opinions don't need to be what's the word? They're like assholes.
Yeah, everybody
Everybody's
has
got
one.
one.
Yeah.
Right.
I say they're like orgasms. Everyone has one, but only mine matters.
Oh. Amen.
Well, and on that note.
On that note.
Happy show season, everybody.
Yep. Hang in there, guys.
Maybe.
It's only what, 7 weeks long?
7 weeks long.
7 weeks. Yeah.
We can do
next
it.
year's only 6.
Woohoo!
And then we gotta have
7 weeks long.
And then we gotta figure out what prequel HBO is gonna do for us.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, that should be interesting.
Yep. Like HBO's Blackfire Rebellion series.
If they don't, like, the idea of them even touching Bloodraven in an extended period of anything just makes my skin crawl.
I know.
Leave Bloodraven alone!
HBO butchers Dunkin' Egg.
No, just no.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my God, no. Please just leave them alone. They're great the way they are. They don't need tits and dragons.
I know, I'm telling you, Egg will be like 17.
And he'll be like a man whore.
Yeah.
Look, everyone, okay, I didn't cry. It is possible. And Dunk will be like, will be this suave man with the ladies. You know, he wouldn't be Dunk. He would be like this man, like he would be this woman eater. He would just be, you know, like, yeah, think Patrick Bateman without the killing urges.
And they'll change his name for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be, you know, Reginald
Like-
or something ridiculous like that.
Or like Donk.
Donk. He's Donk and he likes to bonk.
Yeah, it's gonna
See,
be like
we're writing it for him.
big Donk and Leg. Fucking for no reason.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
It
Imagine
hurts.
what they do to Roanne Webber.
Oh, it's such a tragedy.
If they do anything with Roanne Webber, I swear to God, LK is going to just lose it spectacularly.
And in my fantasy world, Dunkin' Egg is presented, you know, in its full glory, animated, right? Like,
I want it to be animated. I've always said it should be animated.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely, it should be animated. And, you know, if they're going to change one thing in the Dunkin' Egg books, just kill Walter Frey as he's a little kid.
Yeah.
Just, like, stomp him with a horse or something. If they made that change, I wouldn't complain.
but the butterfly effect.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. That's
something, no
Ashton
red wedding.
Kutcher's here.
Oh God.
Yeah.
We're all being
Ugh.
punked.
Don't say his name more than 3 times or he'll magically appear in your lounge room.
Huh.
But yeah,
Testing that out later.
If I don't hear from you again, Ryan, I always loved you.
Thanks, babe. Well, that was episode 2.
Woo!
It was a little more everywhere than the first episode.
Yes. Well. we
Yeah.
do that.
But I liked it.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Somebody will listen.
Yeah.
I
Well,
hope.
apparently someone's been waiting for it. No, Connie said that she's waiting. She's been waiting for the new episode. So hi, Connie. On your thread, right? She said I've been waiting for the next one. So.
And I should
gets a
have
personal
this.
hello.
I know I'll have this posted well before the show. I'm hoping to have it posted even still tonight. So it'll be a faster turnaround than the last one. So
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, thank you so
Cool,
much
cool.
for setting this up for us.
no problem, ladies.
Yeah, appreciate it, right?
Until next time.
I'm glad you're on the team for show season, dude.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It was it doesn't seem as daunting now.
Yeah. Well, and how many more people can join, really?
Yeah.
Right? Like, all right, how many
Exactly.
people? Who's on? How many people are in the group, like, right now? What's our official count?
Let me have a look. See info. Members. Doesn't say, damn it.
54,043.
I mean, that's a lot
Wow.
of fucking people.
Yeah.
That is a lot of people.
That's
Holy
more
shit.
people
And we
than
still
fits in Wrigley Field.
Yeah. That's more
I just
people than
added 2
fits in Nats
people.
Park, too.
Mm-hmm.
We fit about 41,000
yeah.
and change. Crazy.
All admins are amendable to bribery through sexual favors and sandwiches. I forgot that was still in there.
Oh, that
Under
can't.
the actual.
And it probably shouldn't be changed.
No. And you know what?
No way.
The Red Waste only has 49,088 members. Just, in case
And
you were
how
counting.
many freaking admins do they have? Like 1 active admin?
Yeah. Active, I think, being the kind of maybe an
Yeah.
overstatement.
It's like the operative word.
I was being sarcastic. We have. Oh, wow. She's been dropped to a moderator. There's 2
Oh.
admins, and the only one that's actually active is a moderator.
Huh.
They're like admins with limited control. So they've actually dropped the only active admin they had down to a moderator.
What does a moderator do? What can't they do?
Wow. They can't remove admins. They can't make admins.
We should
That's
make
about all they
Dolby a
can't do, I think.
moderator.
I remember that time that he decided to get rid of all the admins in the April Fool's thing. And he's like, "Oh, can you try and do this?" And I didn't. And he goes, "April Fool's." I'm like, "Fuck you, I'm going to bed." So I went to bed. It was like 11:30 at night. I'm like, I don't have time for this. I just logged off and went to bed. I'm like, enjoy your joke. I'm like, sure, I'm an admin when I get back. Oh, God help you. But yeah, he actually stripped all us admins of our rights.
It was
as part of the joke. Was
yeah.
that the Preston Jacobs year?
Yes.
I think it was when he was pretending to be Preston Jacobs.
Yeah. I think that was the long plan. Well, wait, or was it the time he made everyone else admins? I don't remember. That was very scary.
Yeah, I was a bit scared of that one too.
I did not enjoy losing my admin status. I will admit that I was like, wait a minute. I really
Dude, I said
job.
fuck you and I went to bed. Like I chucked a full tantrum. You give me back my admin. And it's not that I care about power or anything. It's like I earned that. I work hard for that.
Yeah.
The only Cub in the All-Star game just gave up a home run in the 10th. Way to represent Wade Davis.
I'm sorry.
Fucking jerk.
Hey, my man looked good though.
He did.
And not just Bryce. Scherzer looked fantastic too.
Yeah.
Got some good players there, KRT.
I'm sorry, say that again?
You've got some good players.
We do. We have no defense. It's terrible.
You're all about the offense. Right.
All right.
Have you seen the picture for Stranger Things 2?
Yes.
Yes.
The yes. Oh my God.
October
I'm so
something, right?
excited.
It's
October
October
27th.
27th, which is a Friday,
Yep.
which is perfect because I thought it was supposed to be on Halloween, which is like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible
And
thing to do to people.
well, the problem I'm
Yeah.
going to have a binge watching party.
Okay.
We're gonna just we're just gonna it's like 8 hours. We're just gonna watch it all. And we're gonna have an Eggo waffle bar and the whole
Oh.
thing. And but I thought I was gonna have to do that on like a Tuesday night. And now I can do
But
it
at least
on
you can do it Friday night.
well, I'm just gonna tell everybody that's invited. I mean, what I was gonna do is I was gonna have to wait for like oh, there's something going on at the All-Star game. What the heck happened? Oh, we had a foul ball hit a dude right in the face.
Oh no.
Yeah, cameraman.
Oh shit.
Is there blood everywhere?
Yeah.
What the?
Oh.
Cool. There are two types of people. There's blood everywhere. Yeah. Ew. Cool.
Anyway, long story short, I
Yes,
get to have my
type I
binge
am.
watching party.
Okay, awesome.
Now we need to go fund me so that I can get over there and binge watch it with you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
We need to get you to the States, Kelly.
Yes, that would be nice. As I keep explaining to people, it's not just me. Like if I'm going overseas, I'm obviously going to bring my husband and children so we can make it a family holiday. Because the man lets me go to Melbourne on girls' trips and stuff, but going to the US by myself might be stretching the limits a little bit, particularly since he hasn't ever been either. So we are looking at in the next couple of years getting over there, but it'll just depend on finances and job statuses and all that jazz. Our dollar's not so great against yours.
People always want to see DC, so.
Oh yeah, my best friend lived in Maryland for 3 years, KRT, and she went to DC all the time.
Yeah.
She loved it. And I'd have to come to Indiana just cause.
Well, you know a guy.
I know a guy. Yeah, I know a couple of guys actually. It's like, where are you going to go there? Well, he has a hot tub, and I've never been in one, so.
Yeah, that's also very weird, but that's another story.
They're not big here, dude. They're not big here. Like, yeah, we Aussies, we do things differently. I'm more likely to sit in my backyard pool in the middle of a thunderstorm because I'm special.
I have to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Later, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Night. No, you hang up first.